So as the gap shrinks every other Olympics between Team USA and the rest of the world, more scrutiny and eyeballs are paying attention to the roster construction of Team USA. And a lot of this played out heavy through the 2024 Paris Olympics. Even though USA did capture the gold, there was a bit controversy here and there about the starting lineups, particularly with Joel Embiid. Him actually committing to Team USA might have came with a stipulation of him being a starter. But just after only a couple exhibition games, it was fairly obvious that Anthony Davis was a much better fit at being the starting center than Embiid. And a lot of NBA pundits through the media kept throwing questions at it, particularly the media members who tend to side with LeBron James. And in order to counteract this, Embiid threw a nice left hook, sort of throwing a subtle jab at LeBron James. You guys check it out.
LeBron now is not the LeBron that was a couple of years ago. So it's a big difference. So the name might be there, but everybody would also tell you, and you can see for yourself, like the athletic LeBron and the dominant that he was a couple of years ago is not the same that he is now. So yeah, I mean, I think people get fooled by the names that are on paper, but yeah, those names have been built throughout their career, and now they're older, so they're not what they used to be.
Now, why is Joel Embiid mentioning this? Because LeBron is listed as a forward on Team USA as a starter. But if you look at the role that he's playing on the team, is almost at guard. So you're going to have Devin Booker or perhaps Jrue Holiday alongside Stephen Curry, who's also at age 35. So basically, LeBron is kind of playing a guard's role on the offensive side of the ball. So that kind of crowds up the forward position on the offensive side of the ball. And by the time you factor in the politics of Joel Embiid having to start at center, you see where things get clustered at that forward position, with Anthony Davis even starting and just other guys even getting minutes. That's why we see Jason Tatum didn't really get a lot of minutes, because that forward position was already crowded, especially on the offensive end. Once again, LeBron James was listed as a forward, particularly playing power forward on the defensive end as a starter for Team USA, but on offense, he was not necessarily blowing past players. He was the playmaker. He was sort of playing a point guard's role. So off rip, there's already a limited amount of spaces for certain players. That's why we've seen Jaylen Brown not necessarily get selected for this team, but Derek White, because there was a need for an extra guard who could play defense and guard multiple positions. So with a lot of media members questioning Joel Embiid starting, they could have also spoke to LeBron James' role on the offensive end for Team USA and how it was making the forward position very crowded on that team. And the lack of transparency and honesty about this has trickled down to the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown talks, which even led to Grant Hill having to answer questions of why Derek White was selected over Jaylen Brown.
I spoke to his agent, and I spoke to his agent. We, I don't know if that was before or after, things went out on Twitter, but yeah, I mean, I think this idea that there's a conspiracy theory. I always love a good conspiracy theory, but it was really truly a basketball decision, and these are tough decisions, but having gone through this with the FIBA competition, you want to find the right balance and the right pieces on the court that we needed. And not to say that he wouldn't have been good. There's a lot of guys. You can go on a list of guys who are very capable and very, very, very qualified. But, for where we were, it was the right decision. And Derek White, I think, will help us as we pursue gold.
Now, Grant Hill is right about the fit. Derek White is the perfect candidate for what they needed. But once again, he should have touched base more on why the forward position was so crowded on Team USA. The politics of Joel Embiid was at play, and also the role of what LeBron James was doing on Team USA on the offensive end, playing a guard's role, but at the same time being listed as a forward. All these circumstances contributed to why Jaylen Brown is not on the team, and also why Jason Tatum really didn't get that much burn on the court. Also, very interesting framing from Grant Hill going to the conspiracy theory route, when everyone knows there are politics here at play. Nike is one of the key sponsors for the Olympics, and other brands are restricted. This is under Olympic Rule 40, and it protects the rights of the Olympics' top sponsors. The athletes themselves are not paid. They're really compensated for their expenses. But those who are sponsored by Nike, like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Devin Booker, they do have bonuses in their contracts. These guys get royalties on their shoe sales, and a lot of these brands have a total number of their sales internationally outside of the US. Nike generates 58% of their revenue, Adidas is 76%, and Under Armour has 39% of their sales internationally. So with the scale of this event just being televised around the world, this is a very big opportunity, almost the Super Bowl of advertising for all these athletic wear companies. So Grant Hill's being a bit disingenuous when he's saying conspiracy theory. His job at Team USA, he's juggling the players' brands, like Jason Tatum being the MVP, the highest paid player in the league, but he doesn't want to embarrass him by giving him limited minutes. Same thing for Joel Embiid. He's a superstar, but he joins Team USA to help them go up against Jokic, but he wants to be a starter. That's the possible stipulation. So it is what it is. The rest of the world is slowly catching up to Team USA. We felt a little bit of the pressure in these Olympics, but with LeBron James and Stephen Curry on their way out of the league, and more than likely will not be there the next time around, the coaching staff, along with Grant Hill, they're going to have to cultivate the next generation to not only have camaraderie on the court, because these teams are getting a lot better, but also have guys comfortable enough to join these teams without compromising their brand, as we see it played out with Jason Tatum. So it's a very unique juggling act that Grant Hill is in right now, but we'll see how it plays out. And until next time, you guys definitely stay safe. Peace.